In this world, everyone can change professions through the career-changing formation. Some become elemental mages, admired by thousands, others become shadow assassins, the shadows in the night, and some even become farmers, helplessly returning home to inherit the family business. As for me, I changed to the only hidden profession, necromancer, leading a band of followers to sweep across the land. This made Xiaxue, the perpetual second place, extremely displeased as she walked towards the career-changing formation. The next second, the formation caused a huge phenomenon, which means that Xiaxue changed to a rare profession. It's said that a god-level elemental mage can flatten the entire West Sea with a single forbidden spell. Just as she was gloating, I, being the top student of West Sea School, slowly walked towards the transfer array. The array master next to the transfer array shook his head, thinking that aside from appearing calm, there was nothing special about me. Little did he know, he was about to be proven wrong. The moment I stepped into the array, a phenomenon erupted. Daylight turned into night, and the sky was covered with dark clouds. Everyone was shocked. This is an anomaly. Such a significant anomaly is simply unheard of. Could it be another rare profession? Dense figures could be seen standing above the dark clouds. The dense crowd of shadows gives the impression of a massive army. The silhouettes above the dark clouds salute me in unison, followed by a huge energy pouring down on me. The next second, I successfully changed to the unique hidden class of necromancer. The so-called unique hidden class means that I am the only necromancer in the world, and there can only be one of me unless I die, after which another necromancer can appear. Just as I was about to leave, the formation master came over. Young friend, please wait. I have never seen this hidden profession before. Could you demonstrate your skill for me? My necromancer has 2 skills, one of which is summoning skeleton warriors. With my current level, I can only summon the lowest level black iron skeleton warriors. Another skill is soul flame, which causes damage by burning the target's soul. The power is determined by my mental strength and skill level. I weighed my options and decided to summon a skeleton warrior. A ghostly flame appeared in my hand, and in the next second, a skeleton warrior emerged before everyone. The formation master wasted no time and directly attacked the skeleton warrior. The next second, I received a voice from the soul. Skeleton warrior is under attack. Shall we counterattack? I immediately stopped it. Are you kidding? This old man opposite is the rank 52 array master Zhang Qian, who can crush this skeleton warrior with just a flick of his finger. The array master thought, with my level, this level 1 skeleton warrior can actually show hostility towards me. Although its attributes are a bit average now, it should become stronger as Lin Moyu's level increases. Then I decided to leave with the skeleton warrior. My good buddy Gao Yang came over and asked if he could touch it. I nodded, indicating he could. Gao Yang touched the skeleton, which looked a bit tattered. Not knowing its strength, I suggested it should be stronger than you. Then he ran off to change jobs. I casually retrieved the skeleton warrior, and unexpectedly, I found that I have a summoning space. The summoned creatures stored in the summoning space can be summoned anytime and anywhere, without consuming any more mental power, and the capacity of the summoning space will increase as my level rises. Speaking of levels, when I just switched professions, I seem to have seen the previous necromancer, with countless skeleton warriors attacking a mighty dragon, while the dragon was powerless to resist. Someday, perhaps I can also be someone who can instantly slay a dragon. While I was pondering, Gao Yang had already successfully switched professions and returned. He has awakened as a sword and shield knight. As the job transfer ceremony concluded, the principal announced that the novice instance in West Sea City would be open to everyone tomorrow, hoping that everyone can get into their desired school in a week. Immediately after that, I returned home, holding a photo and becoming lost in thought. Looking at the photos of my sister and grandmother, I secretly vowed to definitely get into Xiaojing Academy. My sister Lin Mokahan was the only one who got into Xiaojing Academy last year one night. While I was in the daze, a system panel suddenly appeared in front of me. The next second, a voice echoed in my mind. Detection of host awakening as necromancer meeting the requirements. The strongest talent system is binding. Congratulations to the host for awakening the unique divine god level talent. Comprehensive enhancement to level 1. With the effect, all skill effects are increased 5 times. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the passive skill damage transfer. All damage received by the host will be transferred to summoned creatures. Oh my god, this effect is simply comparable to a divine level. The next second, I summoned a skeleton warrior and looked at its data panel. Its attributes had really increased 5-fold, and if combined with damage transfer, standing still at the same level, defeating me is incredibly difficult. The next day, I arrived at the dungeon entrance. My good friend Gao Yan asked if I wanted to team up. I simply told him that teaming up to level up is too slow. I still level up faster solo. At this moment, the perennial runner-up Xiaxue stepped forward. That's right, based on the experience of predecessors, the experience gained from teaming up is divided equally between 2 people, and only dungeons above level 10 are suitable for teaming up. At this time, the principal stepped forward, and aside from Lin Moyu and Xiaxue, all of the main battle professions were
I brought support into the instance to level up quickly to take the Capital Academy exam. As for Lin Moyu, I haven't seen his profession and don't know his combat power. You can ask Lin Moyu if he wants to team up. Then I said that I also plan to take the Capital Academy exam, so I intend to solo. The principal was shocked. Do you know how difficult it is to get into Xiaojing Academy? To be admitted to Xiaojing Academy, you must at least reach level 15 before the major exam. Your sister was admitted last year with a level 16 score. How can you reach level 15 in just 1 week? Besides the level requirement, there are other conditions as well. I then expressed that I was confident about getting into Xiaojing Academy. Upon hearing this perennial second place person jumped out again to suggest a competition to see who could level up faster. I helplessly scratched my head. Is Shenqian really that strong? I then headed to the dungeon, summoning a skeleton warrior last night, consuming 10 points of mental energy. Out of the whole night, my mental energy had recovered to 40 points. so I'll summon 4 more. Then I immediately instructed them to split out, find and kill monsters, and for each monster the skeleton warriors killed, I gained 1% experience. In just half an hour, I leveled up to level 2. Then, I decided to summon 2 more level 2 skeleton warriors, making the total number 8, and they could already kill level 4 monsters. Amazingly, I discovered that the places the skeleton warriors passed could actually form a map. Suddenly, a small Gaga tried to sneak attack from behind. It was the perfect time to test the active skill, Soul Flame. I directly unleashed Soul Flame on the Great Hat, and with the skill's 5-fold amplification, the level 2 monster could only be instantly killed, and the mental attack ignored any. As the skeleton warrior kept defeating monsters, I leveled up again, and then I summoned more skeleton warriors. With the system's notification sound, in just 4 hours, I had already reached level 4. Once I reached level 8, I can go to the outskirts of West Sea City to hunt monsters. There are higher level monsters with more experience over there. Outside the dungeon, the principal is chatting with Father Xiaodong and Dongyang. Previously, Su Qianqing and Lin Mohan both had rare professions, and were level 5 when they emerged. It seems like Shuye should be similar. Everyone will be forcibly sent out of the instance after 12 hours, so let's wait 12 hours, and see what level they all reach. At this moment, I have already been crazily killing with the skeleton warriors, and the farthest distance from me is 500 meters. As long as within this range, I can safely on auto battle, but nearly 7 hours have passed without seeing an 8th level monster. Just as I was searching with my minions, an attack came towards me, and the passive skill damage transfer automatically activated. I finally found it, and immediately ordered my minions to attack. Surprisingly, it wasn't killed instantly. As expected of an 8th level monster, it takes 4 strikes to kill it. At this rate, the efficiency is much slower. Fortunately, these monsters were dense enough, and before long, all the level 8 monsters were slaughtered. I slowly walked out of the instance. Everyone was shocked and quickly asked me what happened. I just calmly replied that I had simply cleared the instance. When the principal heard that it only took 10 hours to reach level 7 and even cleared the dungeon, I immediately applied to the principal to grind experience in the western outskirts of Jihai. The principal smiled and responded, "I'll write you a recommendation. Take a rest first, and I'll send you all back when everyone comes out." The head of the Xia family asked Principal Lu why I came out early, wondering if something went wrong. Principal Lu excitedly said, "He is Lin Moyu. He cleared the dungeon and came out directly." Here comes the hidden profession S. The strength of the Lin Mage has already surpassed all known rare professions, and can even rival legendary professions. Not long after, Xiaxu came out of the dungeon, reaching level 5, matching the record for the newbie dungeon. When he saw me, he was surprised, wondering how I reached level 7. When he saw his father, he quickly asked what had happened. Lin Moyu cleared all the level 8 monsters in the dungeon within 10 hours. Xiaxu was startled. He had just reached the area of the level 7 national leader Ayu, and hadn't even seen a trace of a level 8 monster, yet I already wiped them all out 2 hours earlier. If there were more monsters, wouldn't I directly reach the 8th level? On the other side, my good friend Gao Yang saw that I had reached the 7th level, and quickly hugged me, asking me to help him level up. No choice, next time patrol. Gao Yang excitedly said to meet at the school gate tomorrow, but the next day at the school gate, there was no sign to be. After inquiring, he learned that I had already got to the suburbs of West Sea City, and on the other side, I had already arrived at the Shengxie Empire trading post, and immediately accepted a few simple tasks before handing over the proof to the Empire's guards. Necromancer, what kind of profession is that? Which school is it from? Agreeing to let you out of the city at level 7. Your exit permit has already... It takes effect, and you can freely enter and exit major cities of the Empire in the future, but note that there are many monsters outside, and if you encounter danger, you can run back, as after all, your life is the most important thing. Just one. As soon as I stepped out of the city gate, the air was filled with the smell of blood, and I could even hear the roars of beasts in the distance. Just as I was sighing, a sound caught my attention. A goblin was attempting to attack me. I quickly summoned a skeleton warrior to take him down. A 10-level goblin in front of a 7-level black iron skeleton warrior.
There was no resistance in their eyes, so I summoned all the skeleton warriors. Listening to the system killing notifications, I guess it won't take long to reach level 15. Before long, I reached level 10. The overall amplification also reached level 2, with skill effects enhanced tenfold. The summoned skeleton warriors became bronze level, and they had the skill Frenzied Strike, dealing twice their strength in damage to the target with a cooldown of 10 minutes. As I was checking the stats, an arrow attack came at me. I couldn't dodge in time and took it with my shoulder, triggering the damage transfer. The skeleton warrior beside me immediately assumed an attack stance after receiving the transferred damage. The next second, a girl in black silk passed in front of me. No, this should be the assassin class. The one who attacked me should be the archer. Then 2 people walked towards me. "Kid, did you just see an assassin pass by here?" I said coldly, full of killing intent. "Your arrow hit me. Step back immediately. I am the world's only necromancer. At awakening, all gods and Buddhas pay tribute to me. In battle, I can not only summon an army of the dead to use for myself, but also transfer damage to them when harmed." At this moment, I was just a level 1 little novice. Just as I stepped out of the city gate, I was ambushed by archers. Knowing it was unintentional, I still forcefully demanded an apology. The 2 saw that I was unharmed after being hit, and then looked at the skeleton warrior beside me, realizing I wasn't easy to mess with, and grudgingly apologized before hurriedly leaving. I thought to myself, You're lucky. If you really dared to make a move, I'd make sure you paid for it here. Then I began to crazily level up while idle. After reaching level 10, the experience required increased threefold. I figured I had to kill at least 5,000 goblins to barely gain 1 level. To reach level 15 before the big exam, I needed to work even harder. So, I planned to level up overnight while idle. At the current pace, I should reach level 13 by tomorrow. After level 15, the experience will decrease again, if reserving one. If I go back in time, it seems that at most, I can reach level 16. But how did Sister reach level 16 then? Although she was a legendary class blade warrior, her leveling speed couldn't have matched mine. Could it be the West Sea Mine instance? When Sister came back from outside, she was badly injured. Did she venture into a nightmare level instance with someone? If that's really the case, maybe I can check it out tomorrow. Just as I was idle, the skeleton warrior beside me suddenly became alert. Excuse me, is there anything to eat? I thought he was the assassin from the day. I took out a sweet potato and handed it over. The assassin happily accepted the sweet potato, then removed the mask, revealing a delicate face, and began to devour it ravenously, even choking from eating too fast. I quickly handed over a bottle of water, and they grabbed it and drank eagerly. The beauty shyly asked me my name. Following the principle of not talking to strangers, I chose to remain silent. However, the beauty thought I was mute, and suggested we use the detection technique on each other. As our fingertips sparred, the technique was activated. I was surprised. Why did it fail? Meanwhile, the girl seemed to have expected the result, and was curious about my profession. Was the skeleton by your side during the day your summoned creature? Undead summoned creatures are indeed quite rare, aren't they? However, you don't seem to be mute. Why don't you speak? Aren't you curious why your detection technique failed? I calmly replied, why? The girl was delighted. So you can talk. The reason your detection technique failed is because this thing is called a shielding badge. As long as the level difference is not more than 10 levels, your detection spell will fail. Then he put the badge away. Try using your detection spell on me now, he said. I cast the detection spell again, and was surprised to find that this young girl was already a level 19 shadow assassin. While I was astonished, an alert from the skeleton warrior popped into my mind. That group planned to use the cover of night to surround us. Ning Yi suddenly stood up and said, "Looks like I'll have to play with you next time." The next second, an arrow came attacking us. Ning Yi dodged to the side, but unexpectedly, the arrow exploded near us. Oh no, it's a marking arrow. The marking arrow is a special anti-stealth skill of archers, capable of marking the target to make it as conspicuous as light in the night, and unable to go into stealth. It seems they came prepared this time. Then the three surrounded us. With filthy assassins like rats paired with a dark and evil undead summoner, they make quite a match. Ning Yi expressed her willingness to hand over the skill scroll, so that we can each go our own way. She whispered to me, telling me to leave first. As a shadow assassin, she naturally has ways to escape at night, but from my perspective, being chased during the day, and now marked by an arrow, staying would surely lead to death. Just at that moment, the archer called for his companions to act, to prevent. Too much delay invites trouble, so the mage immediately casts an illumination spell. The illumination spell can not only be used for lighting, but also to improve his hit rate. Most importantly, it can counteract the assassin's stealth skill. The next second, the three of them gathered their strength and surrounded us. At that moment, I casually raised my hand and summoned a skeleton warrior. The mage saw this and directly threw a level 25 ball at me. Lin Yi wanted to pull me away to dodge, but unexpectedly got entangled by mental threads. The archer saw this and shot 3 arrows toward us. In an instant, Lin Yi pushed me away, but unexpectedly, the direction she pushed me towards also had a large fireball coming at us. At a critical moment, 2 skeletons surrounded us, one in front and one behind. Then, the fireball exploded in front of the skeleton, while the incoming arrows were blocked by the other skeleton. The next second, one skeleton launched an attack using the sword style, and surprisingly, the large fireball had not caused any damage to the skeleton warrior, who emerged like a god of death. How is this possible? This kid is just a 10th level necromancer, so why couldn't my 21st level instantly kill him? What is this thing? Why does this hallucinatory object have such high attributes? Suddenly, a large number of ghost fires appeared around the 3 of them, and in the next second, an army of undead surrounded the 3 of them. Linya. The face showed surprise. A tattered skeleton could be so strong that even a 20th level mage and archer couldn't harm them, and there were so many of them. The next second, with my command, 44 skeleton warriors charged at them. The boy character is a sensitive profession necromancer, who can easily summon hundreds of thousands of undead with just a wave of his hand. However, despite this awesome job, he was ambushed just after leaving the city gates. As a necromancer, I'm not letting them off easily. I raised my hand and commanded my 100,000 undead army to charge. You could see the nearest skeleton warrior rushing towards the enemy mage first, and then striking at the shield. Instantly, the shield was covered with cracks, and the next second, the shield would... Just as the shield shattered, the mage raised his staff, casting a repelling fire ring. The next second, a massive fire ring exploded, sending the nearby skeleton warrior several meters back. However, before he could feel pleased, the next skeleton warrior came swinging a knife, and the mage was directly cut in half. On the other side, the archer was full of fear, clearly having agility at 1000, but still unable to shake off these skeletons. Little did he know, the agility of the skeleton warriors had already reached 1500, and compared to the deceased mage and the archer about to be caught, the knight's situation was much better. Unexpectedly, he mastered the skill of extreme defense. After using extreme defense, his defense becomes extremely strong. A level 20 knight using extreme defense can even withstand a full force strike from a level 40 mage. Then I raised my hand and ordered the skeleton warrior to use a skill. We must not let him escape. The next second, the skeleton knight's eyes glowed red, with a power of 1500 instantly doubling, and then it slashed at the knight. Extreme defense lasts at most 1 minute. The more intense the attack, the shorter the duration. The next second, the shield shattered and the entire team was wiped out. However, there were still quite a few good items left behind. Although these bronze level items aren't very useful, they can still be sell for some money. As for this beginner skill scroll, according to Lin Yi's introduction, it is valued at 10,000 gold coins. If used, it can grant a skill, although there is a chance to receive a skill you have already learned. I then infused my mental energy into it, and the next second, indeed, I acquired a new skill. The skill is called Corpse Explosion, which can detonate corpses, dealing to enemies. Although this skill doesn't seem impressive, with my talent enhancement, the damage range can even reach 10 meters. As long as one enemy is killed within those 10 meters, it can explode continuously, making it an invincible area attack skill. Due to my talent, almost all my skills have become god level. Lin Yi saw that I saved him and handed me a box. Upon opening it, I found an ultimate scroll. An ultimate scroll is worth at least 1 million gold at the exchange. He said this treasure chest was discovered at the Common Orc Legion camp in Shanghai, and when he opened it, he obtained this scroll. Unexpectedly, these guys saw it, although these things aren't worth much. But something hard-earned can't be given away easily. Right, we chased and fled until we ended up here. After some exchange, Lin Yi learned that I was training here to apply for the Xia Capital Academy. Lin, Tiane praised. With your ability, getting into any academy would not be a problem. But if you go to the Xiajing Academy, you must go to the Shengxie Tower. The reward for the first challenge at Shengxie Tower can be doubled. You should work hard to climb as high as possible. This way, you can earn a lot of points. And in Xiajing Academy, points are more than. Gold coins are more useful. Also, there is an academy called Genesis Academy in Xiajing University. If possible, you must get in. As they continued talking, Lin Yi also fell asleep, and I took the opportunity to meditate. The next morning, as soon as Lin Yi woke up, she asked me for roasted sweet potatoes. I had no choice but to give her all the sweet potatoes. After eating the sweet potatoes, Lin Yi said she had to leave and told me to level up quickly so she could join me in dungeons later. Watching Lin Yi's departing figure, I had an indescribable feeling. But now, perhaps I can try out the damage of the new skill, Corpse Explosion. Oh no. A man changes professions to become the world's only hidden occupation of necromancer, raising millions of undead warriors to fight for him. He also awakens the strongest talent system. Any damage he takes is transferred to the undead warriors. Additionally, any skill can become a divine skill, like the basic skill Corpse Explosion, as long as the corpses are more than enough. As long as there are new corpses, it can explode instantly, making it practically a god tier skill for group attacks and farming. So, I plan to go to the West Sea Mine dungeon to try out this new skill. Just as I arrived at the entrance of the West Sea Mine dungeon, I saw a group of people recruiting teammates. Although the dungeon doesn't have a hell level difficulty, the normal difficulty is equivalent to elite monsters outside. The nightmare difficulty is a more enhanced version of elite monsters. Generally, the normal level requires at least a shield mage and healer to pass, while the nightmare level requires 2 supports and 2 damage dealers to pass. A young man ran over and asked if I was a summoner, and then used a detection spell on me. The next second, he just glared back by the skeleton warrior. Luckily, Ning Yi gave me a shield badge, saving me a lot of trouble. People around threw olive branches at me, but I ignored them and directly chose the nightmare difficulty. In the next second, I was transported into the dungeon, leaving everyone stunned that I entered the dungeon alone, and it was on nightmare difficulty. Inside the dungeon, I was transported to a safe zone. As soon as I leave this circle, I would be spotted by monsters. The next second, I checked the monster's attributes. It really is a strengthened elite monster, with attributes several times higher than regular elite monsters. Even a knight in their teens only has 300 to 400 in constitution, far less than these elite monsters. Team up! For most people, it's impossible to complete a nightmare level dungeon, but compared to my skeleton warriors, their attributes are far too weak. In the next moment, a skeleton warrior directly slayed a goblin. Unexpectedly, the experience from killing 1 goblin is equivalent to killing 10 outside. I believe it won't take long to reach level 16. Then, I commanded the skeleton warriors to massacre, even in the corner. Did not let any go. As the skeleton warrior made kills, I leveled up again, and after 5 minutes, finally reached level 11. Unexpectedly, after reaching level 10, the base attributes increased. The skeleton warrior's base attributes previously increased by 20 points, but now they increased by 200 points. However, apart from the newly learned Corpse Explosion, the other skills were enhanced. If Ning Yi were here, maybe he would know. While I was in a daze, the Mountain King charged at me. I couldn't believe the attributes of his leader were... At this point, it seems the final boss ahead will be even more terrifying. However, although my skeleton warrior is inferior in attributes compared to the boss, in the end, they can't withstand my numbers. I then commanded the skeleton warrior to charge at the Wolf King. The skeleton warrior immediately used his skill to strike at the Wolf King, and just after 3 seconds, the Wolf King couldn't withstand it and ran towards the cave entrance. Just as the skeleton warrior was about to pursue, I suddenly shouted, "Something's wrong, everyone fall back." The next second, hundreds of mountain wolves emerged from the cave. Although there were many, their attributes weren't very strong. The skeleton warrior directly took down one wolf, and upon seeing the body, I used Corpse Explosion. Red light glowed in my hand, and the next second, a massive explosion occurred within the wolf pack. With the talent boost, the damage from Corpse Explosion equaled 100% of the wolf's health, resulting in an instant kill. So after the wolf pack, only the wolf king was left, but you also taste the power of the corpse explosion. In the next second, the bodies around the wolf king exploded. Only 15,000 experience. Too low in cost effectiveness, but at least it dropped some items. Then I continued clearing down the passage, and soon I saw the next final boss, the Goblin King. The Goblin King suddenly attacked me without warning. Passive damage transfer triggered automatically, and in the next second I saw the skeleton warrior that absorbed the damage instantly shut. Smash! Just one hit made me lose several skeleton warriors. Indeed, the defense is still too low. My 120 constitution is too fragile under the Goblin King's 3000 attack. The transfer damage is naturally higher than what the skeleton warriors endure. It seems my body is the biggest weakness. I guess I'll have to increase constitution in the future. Although the skeleton warriors are not a match for the Goblin King, I have a whole army of skeleton warriors here. What about the undead mage? How bold. Dang. At only level 10, daring to solo a nightmare level dungeon, and the summoned minion killed a level 22 expert with a single slash. Even when facing an entire guild, there wasn't the slightest bit of fear that day. I was fighting the boss, and the boss's attributes were far superior to mine. With just one hit, my skeleton warrior was shattered. I then summoned all my skeleton warriors, intending to slowly wear him down with them. Unexpectedly, the boss used a shockwave to send all the skeleton warriors flying and followed it up with a burst of flame. The skeleton warrior's health dropped rapidly under the flame attack. This won't do. I have to interrupt his skill. I immediately used Soul Flame to attack the boss. My mental strength is almost exhausted. I must seize the opportunity to take it down now. I quickly control the skeleton warrior to unleash a berserk strike towards the boss. After half an hour of attacking, I finally defeated the Goblin King. Not only did I obtain bronze level weapons and armor, but a Goblin King's gold core also dropped. The gold core can be refined into a Goblin King realm, granting 10 points to all attributes and increasing all skills by 1 level, and it can be used at just level 15. Known as the strongest defense below level 40. As soon as I stepped out of the dungeon, a large group of people surrounded me. Knowledge Rob. It really is the Knowledge Rob. It's incredible. Seeing him so young, I didn't expect him to be a pro soloing dungeons. The cooldown for the dungeon is 12 hours. Let's take a break and go back in when it's ready. This time, the dungeon helped me identify my biggest weaknesses and the effects of my skills. If used well, Corpse Explosion is an amazing area attack skill, and Soul Flame can not only interrupt enemy skills, but also ignore defenses. Even a nightmare level boss cannot. After enduring 12 hours, I just arrived at the dungeon entrance and saw a crowd blocking the door. After inquiring, I learned that the young vice president of the Dynasty Guild was taking the exam at the Jing Academy and wanted the Goblin King's Golden Core to make the Goblin King ring. Their guild lacks nothing except the Goblin King's Golden Core. A Golden Core can only possibly drop in a Nightmare level instance, and it only drops once every 100 days. Today happens to be the 100th day, so they blocked the entrance, preventing others from entering. Upon hearing this, What guild are they? It's not right to hinder my leveling up. One person was indignant, confronting the Dynasty Guild. The next second, someone from the Dynasty Guild launched a flame jet attack at the man. Everyone was horrified, asking how they could kill so casually. If you dare, come seek revenge against our Dynasty Guild. I walked over, telling them not to block my way, and not to hinder me. When I was leveling up, they saw that I was just a level 12 novice and mocked me, saying I should just hunt wild monsters instead of entering a dungeon. People around advised me to come back quickly. At that moment, no one knew that the person talking to me was already frightened by my aura. I continued to walk forward, and when that person saw I wasn't deterred, they began to form an attack spell in their hand, while the rest of the Wong, the members of the Dynasty Guild, were ready to strike. I directly summoned the Skeleton Warrior and sent it to attack that person. With just one strike, their shield was covered in cracks. Just as the Skeleton Warrior was about to deliver another blow to finish the fight, the opponent used a repelling firing, sending the Skeleton Warrior flying, and then called for other Dynasty Guild members to attack. A knight charged straight on my skeleton, and the next second was sent flying hundreds of meters on the Skeleton Warrior. The Skeleton Warrior leaps up, ready to take him down. Kill the summoner. As long as the summoner is killed, the summoned creature will naturally... The disappearing knight said in horror. Immediately, 2 archers knocked arrows and aimed at me. The next second, 2 arrows flew towards me, and I raised my hand to summon 2 skeleton warriors to easily block the arrows. They looked shocked that there was more than one summoned creature. Then the mage used the flame tongue dance, which is known to be the strongest attack skill of a second-rank mage. The flames surrounded all the skeletons, and the next second, I summoned more skeleton warriors. Damn it, how can there be so many? Their numbers already exceed ours. Just how powerful is the necromancer? Others are still stuck at level 10 in the novice village, while I can not only solo a nightmare level dungeon, but also wipe out an entire guild with just one skill. Despite their guild members being experienced and having various buffs, they can't withstand even one of my skills. I directly used Soul Flame on an archer. No wonder it's inexperienced guild. The moment my Soul Flame attacked the archer, they immediately cast a healing spell. However, they clearly underestimated my damage. The healing from a level 20 healer doesn't surpass the damage of my Soul Flame. Fang looked shocked. Could it be that our Dynasty Guild is really going to be wiped out by one person? Immediately, the leading knight ordered a concentrated attack on my body. However, my skeleton warriors were faster, attacking the knight in front. Even with the knight's strongest defense skill, Extreme Defense, it only held for 2.5 seconds, not even giving the support a chance to assist. Seeing this scene, the leading knight had only one thought: run. This guy is simply not human. I chuckled, thinking, only now you want to escape? Already. Too late. I then snapped my fingers to trigger Corpse Explosion. After the talent enhancement, the range of Corpse Explosion has reached 10 meters and causes damage equal to 100% of the corpse's health. Using the knight's full health as